Welcome to Reflections. Today we have Mr. Peter Webley, publisher of Caribbean Today, who has consented to staying with us and telling us a little bit more about himself, his professional experiences, and his involvement in the Caribbean community in South Florida. Peter, welcome again, and thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me again, Patrick.
Okay. Last time you were telling us about your experiences with Miami today, and how you started almost at the ground floor.
Right.
And then you worked at Miami Today for 3.5 years. Okay, what happened coming towards the end of your tenure at Miami Today?
It's so funny because Miami Today was owned by Michael Lewis and Gloria Anderson. And there was a split there. And I was offered a job with Gloria Anderson, who bought a publication called the Kendall Gazette, and she made me an offer to come on over there as her advertising manager. And I accepted.
Now, who was it Kendall Gazette targeted towards? Who were its readers principally?
It was primarily white Americans, middle-class Americans living in Kendall. Is the largest development in Miami-Dade.
Okay.
It's been sectioned out over time, but Greater Kendall was at the time the largest area. Miami-Dade.
Right. Okay. So you went over to the Kendall Gazette. Well, Peter, I must say, I know you have exhaustive knowledge of the Caribbean community in South Florida. You have traveled to numerous Caribbean territories, and so 1 hour of interview with you is just merely scratching the surface. So I wanted to try to highlight, the major points in your. So you went on as advertising manager at the Kendall Gazette.
Right. And I had started at Miami Today doing a Salute to Jamaica supplement.
Right.
And it was their most successful publication at that time. And I took that idea with me to the Kendall Gazette and did 2 or 3 more over there. And the Caribbean community was growing at such a rapid clip that I put together a business proposal for the owner, Gloria Anderson. And
who was Gloria Anderson, by the way?
Gloria Anderson was one of the owners of Miami Today.
Right.
She bought the Kendall Gazette and came.
Was she an American? Caribbean extraction?
She's from Lubbock, Texas. She now lives in New Hampshire. After she sold the Kendall Gazette, after I left, she went to work for the New York Times for quite some time.
Okay.
And stayed there until she retired 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did a proposal for Gloria to do a Caribbean Gazette. Because the numbers were just growing at an alarming rate.
That's the Caribbean community in South Florida.
Exactly.
Right.
And we had a young lady who was above me. She was our marketing director. And she was a little skeptical about the whole thing. And as they say in Jamaica, she and I didn't exactly take tea. Yeah. So she said, well, if you think it's such a grand idea, why don't you go and do it yourself? And I said, something, I never thought about that. And I went to my desk and typed up my letter of resignation, and with $2,856.35, I started Caribbean Today.
What year did you start Caribbean Today?
December 1989.
December, and you're still in publication?
Still in publication. We're about to start our 32nd year.
Well, congratulations, Peter, and that's a monumental task. And so you started Caribbean Today back in 1989. Okay. And how did you start? Where did you start? Who were some of the staff that you started with? What did it take to get you started?
Well, as I said, I started with $2,856.35. Yeah.
And I know you have multiplied that thousands and thousands of folds over.
Yes. I've made it turn on itself and turn on itself and turn on itself. A lot of entrepreneurs, when they start to make $1 or $2, start spending it on themselves, and that's the worst thing that you can do. You need to constantly be reinvesting on top of reinvesting on top of reinvesting.
Right.
And
well, I do remember, I would say, when you started in your quote unquote basement, although, there's not a bit, but in your garage, really. No, I know you have offices you have your own offices, which I've visited.
Yes. So I started on my father's back patio.
Right, I remember.
And it was myself and 3 other people, Michelle Dresstress, and she was our first editor, and Diane, and our artist, his name escapes me at the moment. But, it was really making something out of nothing.
Okay.
It was a dream. It was a challenge. And Peter Webley does not back away from a challenge.
Okay.
If it is measured, I will go at it.
Okay.
If it can't be done, send me.
Okay.
And if the odds are against us, I'll give it a shot.
Right. So you're running around doing the financing, you're doing the marketing, you're getting the ads, you are doing the distribution, so many different things.
So many different things. And it worked wonderfully. I went to Jamaica, and all the people who had previously advertised in my annual Salute to Jamaica supplement, I asked them to make a deal with me. If I produced a Caribbean Today that they saw and approved of, if they would back me for the first year. If they didn't like it, I would ask them to do a thing. Everybody liked it once they saw it, and everybody backed me for the year. That gave me enough breathing space to capture more advertising, capture more distribution, and get things running. You know, and of course, when I asked them to back me for a year, they had to also pay me within 30 days.
Right. That's a commitment also.
Yeah.
So what were some of the major struggles you had in getting it established?
Well, the first 4 months, after the first 4 months, there was the printer that we used to print from. They went out of business and never said a word to anybody.
Okay.
It was the Hollywood Sun-Tackler.
Right.
And I thought that it was done. Because
you mean the paper, your paper?
Everything. Because, it's all well and good that you have a paper. If you can't afford to print the paper, then you're done. This is back in the day when you had to cut and paste everything. It's not a computer where everything is paginated. And let me tell you, I had 2 things going for me. Number one, Caribbean Today was monthly. So it gave me some time to run around to try and find a printer. And I couldn't find a printer that I could afford. Couldn't. And I came home and I was distressed. And my dad saw me and he said, Peter, why don't you go and find yourself a real job? And I looked at him and said, what is this? A figment of my imagination? And that evening, I got a phone call from the Homestead news leader who not only would print me in color, but they would print me for less cost than the Hollywood Sun Tatler. And so I hurriedly put together my publication and took it down there. And, we've been going guns ever since. We've changed printers over the years, but that gave me enough of a breadth.
Breathing space.
To get everything together. Right after that, my dear friend and good buddy, Edwin Ali from Ghana, came on as my editor. And we produced Caribbean Today together for the next 12 years.
Okay.
And we traveled almost every 2 weeks for 10 years. Almost every 2 weeks for 2 weeks for 10 years.
Okay.
You've
been around to most of the Caribbean territories, right?
Mostly the Caribbean territories. I mean, Edwin and I have gone around the planet 2.5 times.
Okay.
From India to Turkey to Japan, you name it. Edwin and I have, through Caribbean Today, have gone to all these places.
Okay.
We've gone to almost all the Caribbean islands together.
And you've met a lot of the presidents and the prime ministers, right?
Yeah. Yes. Can
you name a few that you've met?
From Chetty Jagan and Janet Jagan to...
of Ghana, right?
Of Ghana. Pandy from Trinidad and Tobago, Lester Bird from Antigua, and Sir John Compton from St.
Lucia.
St. Lucia, sorry. It's the funniest thing. My proudest achievement is that I've met President Barack Obama 5 times, and I don't have a single photograph to prove it.
Oh, you've met him 5 times?
And I don't have a single photograph to prove. I've photographs with my brother and him. I've photographs with my wife and my kids with him. I remember when he came down to Miami and he was launching at the Biltmore Hotel. Our family was the first family that, both himself and Michelle shook hands with. And, as he came out from, behind the stage.
Right.
I don't have a single photograph, and with him. And I always kick myself in the shin. When he did his last rally in Miami in 2008, the Caribbean media was given about 15 minutes with him, 10 minutes with him. But the security was so tight that we couldn't even jockey in position and, even get a photograph with him then. That was my biggest regret, know. But everybody from Michael Manley to Edward Siaga, we've had the privilege of meeting them and being in their company and that sort of thing.
Okay. I know I wanted to talk a little bit about the Caribbean community or the African American community in South Florida and your association or links with them, and to give us a quick update as publisher and influential element of that community, if you want to speak to that a little bit.
Well, the Caribbean community in South Florida is growing exponentially. The largest group here is, of course, the Haitian American group in South Florida. Certainly in Miami, they're the largest Caribbean group. Once we cross the Dade-Broward line, Jamaicans dominate in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
The Jamaicans dominate in Fort Lauderdale going into West Palm Beach.
Okay.
But, again, by virtue of the size of the island and the size of the population, you have a large Trinidadian contingency also, St. Lucia, Antigua, Barbados. But as I said before, population and landmass, all these countries can fit in Jamaica, and you have 1/3 left over. We've learned to live with and work with the Cuban population here, because again, 5 Jamaicans fit in Cuba. You know, and what a lot of people don't realize is that Florida, is only what? Cuba is 1.5 times the size of Florida.
Right.
You know, so the influence that they have down here is substantial, you know, and we still count them as part of the Caribbean community.
Okay.
Because they are. They're the largest island in the Caribbean, and we claim that.
And you have a growing Puerto Rican population and people from the Dominican Republic, right?
Indeed.
And you're a gateway also to Latin America. A lot of
Nicaraguans and Hondurans and Colombians, and you come to my church, and a sizable amount of people are from Panama. Jamaican Panamanian, Barbadian Panamanian, that sort of. Yeah.
Okay, very, very interesting. So you've been publishing Caribbean Today close to 30. This is your 33rd year.
32nd year.
32nd year. And you have, I met some of your wonderful staff there. I don't know if you want to tell us a little bit about how you've grown over the years and some of the things that you might want to highlight that we do not know or want to share with us.
Well, Caribbean Today circulates from Homestead to West Palm Beach in a straight line.
Right.
And we are the largest publication, as far as circulation is concerned, of any minority publication down here. And when I say minority, I'm talking about Black publication. And that is proven.
Okay.
And, the wonderful thing about the growth and development of Caribbean Today is that I had the good fortune of working with my father for 9 years in Caribbean Today, because my dad was not just my dad was my best friend. And I benefited from his wisdom and advice over the years that he was with me. We have grown, as I said, from Homestead to West Palm Beach. We have CaribbeanToday.com, and we have a vibrant Facebook and Twitter handle. And we're redesigning the website as we speak. We're getting ready to relaunch it. And, we're going to have a lot of bells and whistles that we're pretty happy with. And, I'm not going to talk too much about that because I want it to come as a bit of a surprise when it comes. But
right.
We're trying to step it up.
Yes. So you are currently located in Miami, Florida. Your office is?
Yes, it's in the village of Palmetto Bay.
Palmetto, right?
Yeah,
and you have currently a staff. I know because I've been there and seen your wonderful staff. And Peter, I know you also have. You're a very modest person, a humble person. You've also garnered tremendous amounts of awards. And the last one I was not able to attend, but you're also, you have created a scholarship or some sort of, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Caribbean Today set up a Caribbean Today Foundation. We give scholarships to college students.
Right.
I had the great privilege of literally going to school for free. I got scholarships all the way through. Right. I was an honor student at Miami-Dade College. I went to USF in Tampa on a Black Incentive Grant Scholarship. I came home, literally, as you know, I've spoken to you about this, with $9,000 cash money in my pocket. You're going to pay me to study? Guess which idiot is going to study? Me. And and this is why I could step right out, and I purchased my first house when I was 24, 25.
Okay.
Because I've always put away for another day, for a rainy day, you know. And we're living through this COVID period right now, and all these lessons have helped us along the way.
How has it impacted your business?
You know, Patrick, I was shaking in my boots when COVID came. I said, certainly, this is going to be the challenge of my life. But I keep telling my children that God has the most tremendous sense of humor on planet Earth. Not only was a serious situation, but we're in the middle of an election year. And this election year was an election year unlike any election year. And because of everybody was vying for your attention, let's put it that way, and support, we benefited a lot from this election cycle. Because of the pandemic, people in business were jockeying for position to keep their businesses in front of the reading audience, both in print and online. And everybody was trying to be a part of that. And so our year ends literally in November. And we had a fabulous year. You know, so we have a niche audience, Patrick. Other large publications can't be everything to everybody. We have a niche targeted audience, and it has benefited us tremendously.
Very good, very good. So Pete, we do not have much time left. I don't know if you want to take the remaining moments. Like I say, I know you to be a very humble person. You have been the beneficiary of numerous, or the recipient of numerous awards.
Yes.
You want to tell us about one or two of them, and then the remaining time, you just sum up for us your philosophy on life and the philosophy on business?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've gotten awards, everything from being honored by the Governor General of Jamaica to being...
what was that award?
Sorry?
What was that award?
That award was given to us, actually, it was given to us the same day that we met Barack Obama at the Biltmore Hotel.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His function was after the Governor General's function, where they were honoring people in South Florida who were...
In the diaspora community,
exactly.
diaspora. Okay.
Yeah, we've gotten the Peer Awards, we've gotten BOMA Awards, which is the Black-Owned Media Alliance Awards, excellence. We've gotten so many awards, Patrick, that you know I don't like talking about.
Yes, yes. And I see some pictures behind you there in the background.
Oh, yeah.
With
These are all different prime ministers and presidents. And,
right, yes. I see General Powell.
Yes, as a matter of fact, he was one of our first front pages, and we wrote to him and sent him copies of the paper, and he was kind enough to respond.
Okay,
we framed that letter from way back in 1990. You know,
1990.
And it's been a good life. It's been a good life because Caribbean could not give me two boys that are right now so successful. You know, I'm so pleased of both of them.
Okay.
You know, both university graduates going on to do their doctorate degree and other degrees. You know?
That in itself is a blessing. So Pete, we have roughly 2 minutes. I'd like you to take that time to take a minute to summarize and tell us, you know, share with our viewers your philosophy of business, life, whatever experience you want to share.
So Caribbean Today, it's a monthly publication. We circulate, as I said before, from Homestead to West Palm Beach.
That's roughly how much in mileage?
36,900 publications.
But how much in mileage between your band? Maybe about 30 miles?
Just about.
Yes, okay.
Even more. Mm-hmm. And, we're on the web at caribbean.com. Mm-hmm. You can find us on Facebook and that sort of a thing. And we have a very dedicated staff here, small but dedicated. And we have always had some of the best editors that you can find anywhere. That's what we've been known for. People like Edwin Alley, Gilbert Dunkley, who now works for the Washington Post, Gordon Williams, who came to us from from the Sunday Gleaner. He was the Sunday Gleaner editor
in Jamaica.
In Jamaica, and he worked with us for 18 years.
Okay, wonderful.
Really, really good guys, good stuff, and all praise go to them because they did their job for Caribbean Today, and I'm truly grateful and thankful.
Okay.
Whatever you do in life, Patrick, if it is work, then it is a burden. Mm-hmm. If it is fun, then it can't be work.
Right.
And I have more fun just opening that front door and coming inside here and greeting people and sharing with people. And the people call me, I don't know if any of them, and they want me to talk to them for hours. Mm-hmm. And it is funny whenever I'm out there working with some of the delivery guys, sometimes people just want to chat.
Right.
People want to just tell me what's new and what's going on in their lives. And I find that to be more valuable than anything else.
Right. Well, Peter, we're up against the clock. I want to thank you immensely from my heart to share with us and with our viewers your story. And I'm sure this is not going to be the last. Thank you once again for appearing. We have Peter Webley, publisher, Caribbean Today, one of the pillars of the Caribbean community in South Florida. Thank you, Peter.